Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, Mr. David Knoll, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite Creator. And I continue to pray that each and every day that each and every one of you will accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. So, with introductions and prayers, I want to thank you all for all subscribers and anyone who stops and checks out the channel. Thank you so much. And it's 11:30. It's 1:30 in the morning here, Eastern Daylight Time. And we had a little interesting power outage out here, blackout here in this area. And I mean, the whole neighborhood was dark for over 4 hours. And during it, I was hooking up a light outside because I was mixing concrete to finish my porch out here, right? And I'm plugging in the light and I'm going, I had trouble with this light before. And then I went, wait a minute, there's no lights on in the house. The television's off, was kind of listening to it. And I looked around and it was dusk. So all of the neighbors, outside lights, none of the lights were coming on. And it was absolutely wonderfully pitch black out here. But the interesting thing is, it's, um, nobody's got any lights on their porch or anything like that. And we've got a couple of, and I'm an even more believer of solar lights now. But every month I buy some kind of solar light. Sometimes it's a little, $1 yard lights. And I'll buy a couple from here and a couple there. And then when one goes out, I'll put another one out. So, but the ones that were already in the yard, I spent a little bit of extra money. One's a spotlight. And the thing lights up the whole corner over there, and I'm like, this is great. It's pitch black everywhere. And me and Miss Breaking Dawn are out there in the chair, got a little smoke fire going on to help keep the skeeters away. And we got water. Now the refrigerator's off. Okay. But there was no warning. There was no nothing, no anticipation. And I'm thinking to myself, other than the refrigerator going out, which we got a little generator that hasn't been hooked up yet, but I do have some extra gas. So I'm like, is this it? Or was this just a local outage for a temporary? Now I live out here in the country and this does happen. But the thought crossed my mind, holy crap, what if this is Armageddon? With all the lockdown and this and that. So I'm just kind of chuckling to myself. Now, the lights will probably come back on. They did. They're on. But in the interim, without knowing what's happened and why the lights are off, because the phone's not working and this ain't working and that ain't working, and because everything is based on the electricity that you get, right? So when it ain't there, and I don't have a cell phone, so it's like, who am I going to check with, right? So, but, I was sitting outside and looking up at the stars and thinking, I'm like, wow, what if this really was it, Not that I'm looking forward to it or that's it. How much am I really prepared? Well, we got enough for a good while. I got a full tank of gas. So it's like, if we don't go anywhere and things are sort of in a lockdown and there truly is a big power outage, well, I get siphon gas out of the truck and we got the little generator and, we got water and we got, 12 volt lights and we got a solar panel or two and we got the yard lights that, oh my God, them things really work great. Brought one in the house and works great. But anyway, hi, Michelle, Brandy, good to see you. Julie, Chloe, hi, everybody. Yeah, I was I was thinking about doing a video. Hang on there. Hi, Bob. Hi, everybody. Good morning to everybody. Cheers. I was going to try to do a video a little earlier, and it was like, no power. So sat here and had a little munchie, had a little picnic here as the lights came back on and looking over my concrete work from earlier. Having an after dinner snack. But the idea, though, that I'm a self-imposed hermit. Okay. And I realized that, since I was a little kid, I've talked about this. Everybody asked, "What are you going to be when you grow up, Dave?" And I said, "I'm going to be a hermit, live in the woods on a river." That's where I live. So I've sort of known what my life path was going to be for a long time, even before I knew what a darn hermit is or was. But anyway, to the hermit's life, though, there are a lot of folks now who are being, quote, this lockup thing, right? Or locked down, or, and I've talked about my time in prison. And, when you can go into lockdown, but you still can read a book. You could, okay, things are locked down. We can go, yeah, okay. The first couple of times it happened with me, I was like, what the hell's going on? And oh my God, we're in lockdown. So you're still locked up. But, there are people who are going into a hermit style of, well, we can't go out and the stores are closed. And, well, what are we going to do? Well, you're going to have to stay home for a little while. But now I know it's creating hardships for people, but I realize that. So let's just get that out of the way. Prayers go out to everybody and that they get through their hardships. But from the standpoint though, of, well, I got to stay home. It's sort of this imposing, well, we can't, things are closed. And, I called up today. I was going to go into town. Finally, going to we took the trailer down to the river the other day and I want to get a tag for it. And I was like, going to go get in the truck and drive into town. And something said, call them. And I was like, but I called them. They're closed. All the county systems and offices are closed until further notice, I guess, or for a week or so. But anyway, so it's like, well, can't go get a tag for well, I guess I will just stay home. Most of the time we're staying home anyway, but on the one day I'd really like to go get the tag for the trailer and make things legal and get it over with. They're not open because of this. Plans change. So I mix concrete and put up a wall. There's always something else you can do. But the idea, though, that it's that some folks are being, quote, made to stay home. And I'm like, well, um, do something around the house, find something. You don't have to stick your head in the house and, oh, what am I going to do? What, oh, we can't go anywhere and this is closed. Yeah, okay. So, you got to hunker down a little bit. When a storm comes, when that hurricane came out, it'll be going on 2 years now, Hurricane Michael, when it came through. People had to hunker down. They didn't have a choice. We didn't have a choice. We were just so thankful that, we still had a roof over our heads. And I mean, you were really grateful after that storm went through. But the idea, though, that somehow this is some great thing that everybody's going to have to, it's a big ordeal. And I must say that for some people, it is a big ordeal. But I was listening to Simon Parks and some other folks and catching up with some things. And everybody's saying, those folks with a higher mindset, let's say, and I would like to consider myself in that category without blowing my own horn. But in that, you must look above the chaos and see what's going on here. And, too many times I've, quote, had my, been imprisoned or whatever, or this or that, or you can't do what you think you can do, or, oh, you can't go out, whatever it is. And it's just like, but wait a minute, though. I'm still me. I'm still here. I still have options. Have they taken all my options away? No. You just have to stay home. Well, but that's like being a hermit. That's like, well, if you stay home and look around your own area and you start working on on your own space, because now you don't have to rush out anywhere. Now they may be making you do it, but now you have the opportunity to take some of that self time and say, well, wait a minute, maybe this isn't such a bad deal. Everybody's going through some of it, so it's not like it's just a few of us. There are millions of us. just here in the United States, plus, billions across the planet who are in some kind of a lockdown kind of mode. Stay home, stay healthy, not a bad idea. But there are many hardships attached with that. So, but we just have to not panic. It will work itself out. It always has, and it always will. But as a hermit, though, you should, I'm hoping some of these folks will take the opportunity to, maybe go outside, because going outside doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get sick with the flu. It's going outside with other thousands of people that you may be mingling with in certain areas of the country and so forth. And it's like, okay, all right, well, then we'll do this. If 2 weeks is what it takes in a lifetime, 2 weeks ain't nothing. Spend a year in prison and you go like, 2 weeks ain't, I do that. The adage is I can do that standing on my head. So we should look at this, wait a minute. Maybe it's a good time to like, wow, I don't have to go out now. And it's a good idea for me to stay home. Maybe let me plan something here. Don't know what it is. Look around yourself, I got so many projects around here. I don't, I have, I try, 3 weeks is the longest that I've been like not gone anywhere. I could go up the driveway. Meg's is not that far from here, like 7 miles. So it's not like but I was like, no, I want to see how long I can hold out. Oh, I really wanted some milk and I really wanted a pack of smokes. But yeah, I went 3 weeks with doing what the provision. I bought provisions and said, okay, I want these provisions to last me 2 weeks. Even though I go to the store anytime I want, I could go to a Walmart that's open all night. I don't know if they are now, but one in Thomasville and one in Moultrie. So there's not far. So, but it was self-imposed because it was like, I wanted to see, could I really get by 2 weeks without like, well, I got to go to the store. I needed something, and I realized the 2 weeks went by and I was like, I still got some stuff. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I really wanted to, a fresh loaf of bread and some milk, but other than that, I was like, I'm okay. So it gives you an opportunity, though, to look at yourself and to look at your life and to look at maybe the rat race that's going on around you. And I'm hoping that this will enlighten people, not to the point of scaring the crap out of them and making them go crazy and all that, but in that they will learn maybe after it's over, it's like, maybe I panicked a little too much. Or maybe, I just didn't have enough faith in myself or in the spirit or in that what we too shall make it through this. I mean, I went to the Colquitt EMC website to see if they had a power outage thing on their website. And there's a big thing on their front page that telling that any disconnects or payments or anything like that are going to be suspended for the next 2 weeks because of hardships with families and the I hate to use the word lockdown or but people staying home. Okay. So even the county is like, okay, we're not going to charge, we're going to give you free electricity. We'll work it out later. Don't worry about it. So people, that's one headache. So people who may have been like late with their bill or something like that, they've waived everything for 2 weeks to give, at least 2 weeks to give folks a chance to straighten things out without having to worry about having their power turned off. And then we have a power outage now. A power outage tonight, and also it is full moon. I it's Wednesday now, but it was Tuesday. Yep, March 25th. Okay. On Tuesday was new moon, so I just kind of found it slightly ironic. New moon, no lights, blackout, no warning. This has happened before. It's rare, but it does happen. So, but at the same time, it was slightly a shock with all the other stuff going on. Like, oh, holy crap! So, am I going to get a couple fresh gallons of gas? Yes. Am I going to go ahead and hook that generator up and try it out? Yes. Why? Not because I'm scared, but because we got it and haven't tried it yet. And that's my fault. But, so trial and error and blah, 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 blah. And I got like 10 gas cans around here. And a gallon of gas would last a long time to just run a refrigerator for a couple hours a day because everything else we pretty much got. Maybe run the pump to maybe, run some water, but we've got 2,000 gallons worth of water. And my well is, I can dump a bucket down there and pull it up with a rope and a pulley. So it's like, we got things that other people don't have, can't have. I was speaking with my friend the other day and he goes, Dave, he goes, you really planned for it, didn't you? And he goes, well, what will you do with water? And I said, well, those tanks, 1,000 gallons each, rainwater. Okay. And I dug my own well. He goes, no, you ain't. We went up there on the hill and looked and he goes, you mean you dug that son bitch? And I said, yeah, mostly me, but with the help of other people pulling the rope up and the mud out of the hole. But yeah, I dug that hole. It's 22 foot deep. I've been down there several times. And you dug it. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, and the water's just right there. I can see it. I said, mm-hmm. And so if you run out of electricity, you just throw a bucket down there and you got water. And I said, yep, that's it. Now that means you're camping in its pioneer style, but that's not the point. There are people, he said, when my lights go out, I don't have that option. He said, because I got a deep well. And if I don't have 220 and a generator that'll do it, he said, we ain't got water. We ain't got squat. And, lo and behold. So, this old hippie with learning about, homesteading, how to get along with, just basic necessities. I have chose this lifestyle. And I realized that right now it's kind of coming in handy because I'm not really, I was surprised and like, I hope the lights come back on, but if it don't, we still got all these things already in hand. So I would implore folks to listen. If you think that there are things that you can do in your life that you could change, do it. And unless you're planning on dying in the next week or so, plan on your future one way or the other. Because the simple thing is the future is still coming. It's us who will stand still and go, well, I didn't know, I should have known. And I knew a long time ago that if anything happened, because so many things have happened in my life, if anything happened and my lights went out and if they had to blah, 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 and I didn't have any money and blah, but I could keep, all I have to do is pay for the property taxes. Everything else, I got a well, I got a this, I can still live here, even if it was in a tent. But the house is nice, it was a little stuffy in here earlier, but, I'm going to look into some more 12-volt fans kind of thing for little emergencies like this, just to kind of move the air around in the house a little bit. But, and it doesn't cost that much. We don't have to convert everything to 110. A lot of stuff runs on 12 volt pumps, all kinds of things. So, but anyway, I was surprised at the blackout, new moon and everything. But now for me, I'm looking at this at the moment as I'm speaking with y'all and outside looking up the stars and thinking, now is this just a coincidence, honestly? Or is this another one of them cosmic, synchronicity issues? Lights go out, new moon. Give you a chance to look at the darkness and look up through the universe and see what's all around us. And then at the same time, ponder, you got for me, you got all these things like humming along here, but the one or two little things, you've been slacking on, Hawkeye, like, well, why don't you do this and that? And because you're almost there. But, as a slacker and an old hippie, well, I'll deal with that tomorrow. And the lights ain't going out tomorrow. They did. Somebody asked me the other day, you worried about the lights going off? I went, nah. There's a power plant over here and one over there. And they just can't shut off nuclear power plants. They it takes them a couple of days to cool down and all that kind of stuff. So no, but when the lights went off tonight for these over 4 hours, I thought, how about that? Just make you want to stop and sit down in your chair and go, well, ain't that interesting? What about that, Melvin? Did you expect that this evening? No, bet you didn't. So lost that bet if we had. But anyway, um, so I want people though about the hermit thing. All right, there are a lot of people who are afraid to be like a hermit or to like take some time, and I don't necessarily mean by yourself. If my kids were around or my grandkids or whatever, or my great grandkid was around, I would still take time with them, not necessarily by myself, but us time. You know what I'm saying? Now, so it's like take the opportunity. Here's an opportunity that's like, okay, so it's forced upon you by the big blue meanie guys, okay? But so go, well, then, okay, if you don't want me to go out, then I'll just stay here with my friends and family. We'll play cards, we'll fix the yard, we'll do something together. How about? In a way, that shouldn't that be a blessing? Well, what about this and that? Yeah, okay. But everybody's got to go through some kind of hardship. Even the rich folks can't be rich anymore because they're like, no, not you, special permission. And we'll see. But to the long and the short of it all is, though, that hang on, anytime that you can have more special at home, to take some time for yourself, because worrying about it ain't going to help it. Because we're gonna have to let this time pass, however long it may be. And like being myself being in jail, when they tell you the hardest part is not when I was in jail, it was one thing to be incarcerated. It was another thing for them to be saying, well, you're facing 20 years. And okay, that's scary. That's some scary stuff. So right now we're in this, we don't know how long it's going to take, but everybody's going to stay home. Okay. So, but the scary part is, how long is it going to take us? How long are we going to have to stay home? How long will things be shut down? That was like for me before they sentenced me, before I went before the judge, where you're facing 20 years. But when he said, you get 5 years on each of these 4 counts, Mr. No, that's 20 years. Boom. But I'm suspending that sentence and recommending 1 year county time, blah, 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 4 years probation, pay back to the state, yada, yada, yada. And if you ever come back in my court again, you will get all 20 years. For about a gram of MDA. Yeah, 20 years for that. But anyway, but to the point, after I knew how much time I had to serve, it was a whole lot easier to deal with. Well, I got another 9 months, okie dokie, and 8 months, 7 months, and then you become a short timer. But with that period of time when I was incarcerated and I didn't know how much time I had to serve, the agony was unbelievable. Okay. And they got you. Now, this is not the same thing, but I can relate to it in that, man, I remember when, they said, well, the lockdown and the this, and the things and the people, and then, and the restaurants and the store. Okay. So the panic is we don't know how long it will take. It's not whether or not we can make it through it. It's how long. Ooh. And I understand this. But having, I had old timers to tell me, look, son, but I don't know if I'm going to get 20. Calm down. You talk to your DA. You've been through your thing. Yeah, you sent the thing to the yeah. How much evidence do they have? Blah blah blah. Judge ain't gonna give you 20 years for that shit. Blah 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 blah. But so they try to calm you down. But at the same time, until they tell you and until it's in writing that you only got a year instead of 20 or whatever the sentence is, you go nutso. And so that's the state that everybody's in right now because we don't know. So this state of limbo of not knowing, what are we going to do? Well, how long is it going to take? And I'm with you. But if you take care of certain basic necessities and hunker down and go, look, kids, instead of 3 meals a day, we're only going to have two. Instead of having ice cream every night after snacks are out, we're just going to calm down and chill, and we're going to be happy about it. We're going to spend more time. We're whatever it is, make something of it rather than panic and go, well, I just don't know. Our lives have been turned upside down. The kids don't know what to do because they're always used to this, that, and that. Yeah, maybe the world needs this shake up. I hate that anybody has to suffer. I swear I do. But at the same time, I'm like, there are those of us, and my friend called up to gloat a little bit, but we kind of sort of deserve it. We've been planning on this self-sustainable kind of thing our entire lives. It's our goal. It's our lifestyle. We choose to be as self-sustaining as possible. Yeah, we got to buy certain food stuff from the store and things and blah, 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 blah. But long and short of it is, hey, we got rice and beans and stuff. We'll figure it out because we always have. A country boy or girl will survive if they're true country. So they'll figure it out. But so many other people though this is a new reality for them. They've never had to face anything like this, and I honestly I hate it for them. But at the same time, I'm praying out my other end, hoping that they will see something in their life and go, wow, and there's some changes I need to make here. Even if getting out of this, there's some changes I need to make here. And an awareness of everybody on the damn planet is having an aha moment, aha. Um, Billions of people caught up in the same train of thought. Think about it, how powerful the chaos is. So if we can turn this around, and so, yeah, we're all going to have to deal with it. Yeah, we're going to have to live through it, whatever our, rank is in this, who you work for, where you are, old age, jobs, all that kind of stuff. But we're in it right now. I wanted to go get a tag for the trailer. Nope. But the other side of the coin, ain't nobody going to be on the road to stop me if I want to go somewhere with the trailer. Just say it. But the panic of not knowing of anything, it's the fear base. So the fear is not just the virus. That's I'm not worried about the virus. Honestly, I'm not. But I am worried about the supply chain stuff and things that I've spoke about before. I am, well, I hope things don't back up too bad and lots of stuff get dried up and things. But stuff from China, it depends on what it is. At this particular moment, not so much, and nothing's bothering me. Got everything, all the bare necessities because I've learned to knock out any. And there are a lot of things that I thought I needed, and I find out later on it was just my own frivolous. Well, I convinced myself I needed. So I'm hoping that people will have some grand reality changes because of this. Oh, you know what? And guess what? You know what? This happened once. This could happen again. We can get through this, but you know what? This instance could happen again. We've had flu outbreaks. I talked about the 1917-18 one, did a video about it, and about, other people's lives and so forth. But it so yes, this happens periodically. So shouldn't we always kind of sort of be prepared for, these eventualities? I had no idea the lights were going to go off tonight. I was hooking up a light, trying to turn it on and going, the damn thing is broke. Bam, bam, bam. And I look around and go, wait, nobody's got lights. I felt like a fool, but it's true that and I had just had it on 10 minutes earlier. Well, why is this damn thing working? Plug it in over there, Deb, blah, blah, blah. The whole end of the county's blacked out. So it could have been a transformer, could have been anything. I couldn't find any news on it. And local news ain't local anymore. So we find out 2 or 3 days. Well, there was a blackout in Colquitt County the other night, due to a such and such, and county officials are blah, blah, blah. Well, the lights are on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Honestly, I do. But as far as knowing why, man, we probably won't ever find out why the lights went out down here for so long. But anyway, and another interesting thing is, there are quite not thousands of people that lived out this way, but there are hundreds. There wasn't any cars driving around. And you can hear them down here, crossing the bridge, across the road down here. You can hear the ta-doom, 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 ta-doom that a vehicle makes going across the bridge. You can see the lights this time of the year before the leaves come all on the tree. There are very few cars. Nobody moved. Very interesting. Very interesting. All the people in the neighborhood, nobody moved, nobody drove off. Now they may all have cell phones and have chatted to one another, but nobody moved. And I just thought, just the one neighbor, and he works for the state road department. So he went out and then came back. But it just is an interesting, as a no warning, no nothing. And it could have been longer. There's no way for me to have been able to find out. The phone was out. The thing, the radio, I was like, holy crap. I don't even know where my radio is because I don't listen. I always plug a radio into my stereo system, without power, no radio, no stereo. Crap. But the local guys don't say nothing anyway. And if it was Armageddon, would they tell us? But without electricity, this computer's no good, and the modem don't work. So I'm cut off. Then what? Well, we don't panic. Well, we built a fire and sat out here and watched the sky, and bing, the lights came on. But what if they didn't? Or what if it was just longer? Not so much that they will never come back on. I don't mean that, but what if it was just some sort of strange event like what took them out anyway? What if it was another 8 hours before they could have fixed it or something? Who knows? So, but we need to be prepared for all kinds of eventualities. So this lockdown of everybody into the hermit mode, I say take stock in yourself if you haven't had the opportunity. Help other people to understand. Calm down. Don't panic. We cannot panic. We'll get through this. But I know there are people out there, but I don't know how. This has never happened before. But pretty much that's true. But getting upset about it only adds to the confusion. So we need to stay centered in that. We may not know how to get around it, but to be, I don't know how. I don't know. Okay. But if that's all you do is, I don't know how, I don't know how, I don't know how. Okay, say it one more time. I don't know how, but I'm going to look for an answer. Finish the sentence. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know how. They keep repeating that. And what they should be saying is, I don't know how we're going to get through this, but through the grace of the universe, we'll figure it out. So let's finish the sentence for them, Well, I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to figure it out. Well, we're all going to work on it. There's 1 billion of us that are affected by this or more, you know what I mean? Don't you think we could figure this out if we all thought in a good way about this? Okay, everybody, we're going to stay home. Well, you know what? Well, this neighbor up here is running short of money. And not, I don't mean me personally, but hypothetically. So there's another neighbor who goes, I got extra. I got some extra. I'm going to give him $50. Here's $50. Pay something, buy a thing, do it something, whatever. High Truth and me, Chloe and Amanda. I didn't catch up earlier. Sorry about that, but you know me when I get on a tirade. But I think it's a time also for people to not expect help. Like, well, I'm in need, so you should help me. This is not my fault. That's true. But at the same time, everybody's gotta help themselves. Some of you know somebody who's got more than you, and you say, listen, I got some free time. Anything around the house you need done? In the neighborhood, or a friend of yours a couple miles away. So you don't have to get involved. Can I help you come clean your garage? I could use a few extra bucks. Hey, buddy, can you spare a dime? So in this time of quote need, people can help people by saying, hey, this, that, the other thing. Hi, Chloe. Thank you. Hearts right back. So I think this is the opportunity for people not necessarily to like just open their pocketbooks, but give people the opportunity. Like, I got a couple extra bucks. If somebody was hard up, I'd say, look, drive out here. I'll even give you a few bucks for gas. And I could use some help around here. I don't have much, but I got $50. But if somebody doesn't have a job and they don't have anything, I'll pay for your gas. So all you got to do is drive out here and of course back and help me around here for a little while and I'll give you $50. I'm not a rich person, but I would share what little I have. Of course, I need help. So it's not like I'm giving it to you, but we'll trade. All right. And I promise not to work your tail off, but we can switch, and there are other people that there were old people that I grew up with. Okay. Like me now, who said, look, Dave, you know, we need help around here, grandmas and grandpas and stuff. And they go, we can't pay you much, but we need our back steps, you know. The hubby was coming up and he put his hand on the rail and it felt, and I'd go fix their steps and they paid me what they could. But they always gave me, food and drink and 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 love and their wisdom and they taught me things and and the friendship that lasted in many cases many years. So the things that we can do as people for and with one another without getting spreading diseases and stuff, but we know those people we go do visit and do, we can work around this, but we got to understand we are all in this together, whether we like it or not. We're all stuck with what's going on right now. So much I can refer to my own time in prison and go, well, I'm stuck here. Make the best of it. So we learned how to make moonshine, in the jail without getting caught. And we got tore up, let me tell you. Oh, we got some kind of tore up. Not often, but we did. And boy, when we did. Lord, Katie, bar the doors. I got to make some good homemade buck, let me tell you. But anyway, but necessity is the mother of invention. So if you need something really bad enough, you'll figure it out. But I think the biggest thing is going to be with our hearts with this. And listening to Simon Parks and some other folks, and I'm not trying to name drop here, but there are certain people I listen to, and he was like, this is not a time to panic. And he's speaking about the folks over in UK and the streets of Paris and Italy and over in the Ukraine, that where there are usually people out on the streets and cafes and things and stuff. There's nobody there. tourism is down. People, not even the locals, aren't coming out. So everybody is being affected all over the place. Not just us poor Americans. Oh, woe is me. Can't buy toilet paper. Well, okie dokie. But we can figure it out. We will figure it out. We have to have the confidence, and we gotta trust. And I think Millie Cow, I think I saw his name pop through. I think it was yesterday or the day before, whenever it was that we were chatting. And you gotta have faith. I think it was Millie Cow that said it, but anyway. But you gotta have faith that, you know what? Okay, it's a little crazy right now, but we're gonna make it. That you got when you have that negative thingy, man, it's really crappy right now. Don't leave it there. You got to keep that sentence going. Oh man, it's really crappy right now, but we'll get through it. That's the answer. All the old timers and folks that I lived with, wow, man, times have really been hard, but we always figured out a way. You know, there were times when we really were hungry, but there was the magical and wonderful soup stone. There was there was an old piece of bone and a little bit of this and some motherly love and water and some turnips and it fed us and some cornbread and we lived and yes, it was tough, but we made it. But then there are those folks that go, oh my God, what are we going to do? And they leave it there. You know, what are we going to do? Not sure, but we're going to figure it out. Finish the sentence. Finish the thought. Don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure it out. We will figure it out. If I have an issue, I'm going to ask some other folks. You know what? I got this thing and I don't know what to do. Can anybody help me here? Can we talk? Can we talk here, Mel? Listen here, Sil. I called up my neighbor the other day and they was so grouchy. And all I wanted was to know if they had enough toilet paper. I didn't want any. I wanted to give them some. I got Sil, listen, I got a whole basement full of toilet paper. Yeah, and then I called up Naomi. You know how Naomi is, trying to see, and she got so upset. Oh, but the toilet paper. What are you asking me for? Do you need some? When actually I was going to try to give her a roll. Anyway, you'd have to know who that person was to get that. Yeah, I grew up in the 50s and 60s, but anyway. Listen, Sil. But to the point that there are folks that are doing that. And that on one side, there people says, "Oh, look, there's toilet paper," and they buy it all. Then there's the other side that are going, "Well, do you have any toilet paper? What do you want to know for?" I'm just, I'm just was. I don't. It's none of your business how much toilet paper I have, or whatever it is. But you know, but I just want to. I don't care. It's mine. You don't want to know. Calm down. And there are folks like that. And it's just interesting for me as it's sort of an amateur anthropologist. You study people, watch people, behavior, and so forth. It was one of the fun things to do when I worked on the carnival. Was watching people and the similarities from town to town to town. You'd always find a group of folks that did this, or there would be a group of women that did that. And there would be some black folk, and there'd be white folk, and there'd be Mexican folks, and these folks all did certain things that were very similar, regardless of the town you were in, and they weren't the same people. But anyway, so I'm like, I look at these different groups and things and stuff, and I'm like, whoa, wow, that's strange. But so as a watcher of folks and people and things and events and stuff, I realized that, the old timers that taught me, you'll make it through it, Dave. But I don't know how either, but you'll make it through. But what if? Well, what if that comet coming in is going to hit us? It's not, but, it's a sign from God. Maybe it is, but, oh, it's new moon and the comet's coming in and it's a thing. Oh, and remember, folks, these comets are not frozen snowballs. Sorry. They've already proved that, but they keep telling us the lie. So just, But so the chaos, the thing, there's always something. Of course, there's always something. It's called life. Every time we wake up, it's going to be a little bit different. The weather isn't going to be exactly the same every day, although there are patterns. But come on, we're going to get through this. Of all the crap in this world, every single one of you out there and your friends and relatives have been through some kind of crap because we made it to this point now. So, of course, we're going to make it through this. Not a clue how, except to hunker down and let's, get together and be family and not argue over certain things. And if there's something you can share, then share. You know, we do the best we can. But panic is not the answer. And blackouts, listen, anything can happen at any time, like it happened to us tonight. Didn't freak out, surprised the crap out of me. Had plenty of batteries. We just kept right on doing what we was doing. And we were the only lights in the neighborhood, and they were solar powered. So it's like, and they don't cost that much. So you get caught with your pants down, so to speak. Hey, there are ways around it. And there are simple ways. Look for them. Ask for the simple answers to the life's persistent questions, My friends, I do love you. I do. I've been out stacking concrete block and digging and mixing concrete and stuff like that. And I just had to get on here and just have a little chat with y'all. But I've kind of had it for the night. It's 2:16 in the morning time here, Eastern Daylight Time in South Georgia. Michelle, Joan Rivers. No, it wasn't Joan Rivers. It was somebody else. It was some Jewish lady that was on like Johnny Carson and Merv Griffin way back in the day. But she would sit, her shtick was she'd sit in a chair with a little table. And she was this little Jewish woman, and she talked like this. And her friend Seal was always the person on the other end. And she was listen, Seal. I can't remember the lady's name, but anyway, that's who it was. We have him on probiotics, no change yet. Prayers to the sick ones for everybody and everywhere. Thank you, Truth to Me. All y'all are awesome too, because you come and hang out with us. Um, Faith, love, and patience. Thank you, Chloe. Absolutely. And every time, you know, we was on the river the other night, Sunday night, and I got to call my daughter too. I forgot, but you get into a spot where well, we were there, almost the middle of the night, with our lights off on the river, and to some people that's like, well, that's stupid to begin with, but we had our life preservers on, and we weren't in any real danger, but anything could happen at any time, and the lights went out without expecting it tonight. So that's sort of my point. Life is full of unexpected things. What do we do when they happen to us? We just do the best we can and muddle through. Well, okay, I wanted to do this earlier. Yeah, well, okay. Here I'm talking to y'all beautiful people now at 2 a.m. And and we're still having conversation, and we're still all alive. And yes, there are some of us that are sicker than others, but our prayers are going out to, we're sharing our prayers with each other, and it can't hurt. I mean, does it really help? I think so. There are people who poo-poo us about whether or not all these prayers really help between us and all, and that it's just a bunch of hooey. But when we pray for each other and for the universe, for wellness and healing and things, sometimes, now we have to take this into consideration. We don't know what someone else's life path is. In other words, some, like my nephew who got sick and died, the youngest of all of the kids and stuff, and the one who had made in such a short period of time, such a drastic turnaround. And he's dead from an unknown virus that, boom, took him less than a week to, less than 7 days to die. So I know about this stuff, and it feels and it hurts, and family and things are sudden. But did it? None of the rest of us got sick, but it took him out, just like some of these other things. So my point in this is that I think it was Anthony. We always call him Anthony, but Anthony, his um, his soul contract may not have included going past his point. It was him. It was time for him to go to the other side and maybe be reincarnated as another soul being, because he turned his life around. In other words, he earned his wings. So once he learned that lesson, he left a wife and child behind, and the rest of us. But did he learn his lesson and he was taken out because he was needed for another mission? We have to think about these things in bigger terms. So it's like we may know somebody's very sick, and oh my God, and trust me, it's not about being sick and dying. There is tragedy in all of it. But I remember watching my pop when he told me. He said, "David, unplug me." After his heart surgery, when he came out of that coma, he said, "Unplug me." But Pops, no, unplug me, because he knew he was not supposed to be in this realm. And he came back to tell everybody that and to explain his wishes. So his life contract it was expired, no matter what it was. But he came back to tell us, look, unplug me. I'm not staying. So, and sometimes, whether we like it or not, there are sometimes, if we least expect it or whatever, they're gone. We have to understand that it may be that their soul mission, there's something else out there. Now, there are really weird and strange and tragic accidents and stuff. I mean, I've been in them, God knows, driving down the road and you get sideswiped by somebody. What? But and all the things that have happened to me, I didn't do a lot of these things to me. Other people ran into me or knocked my car off the road, or scaffolding collapsed because of an idiot didn't put bolts in the right places. And that wasn't my fault, but it happened to me. Part of my life in pain and injury and agony. But at the same time, no matter how bad I feel or whatever, I always try to figure something. Earlier today, I was like, I don't really want to do anything. I'm going to town. I mixed concrete and put up a half a wall. So, hey, imagine if I felt really good, was really in the mood, I'd have put up 2 walls. But to the point, though, we can work through it. Don't know how. I just know that, well, I'm going to worry about tomorrow when it gets here. I got as much planned as I can, and I'm going to dust off my old brain, and whatever life throws at me, I'm going to do the best I can. That's the best that we can do. And to not get our underwear in bunches, you know what I mean? And because it's uncomfortable when you walk and hurts when you sit down. So my friends, dang, it's almost been an hour. Michelle, every single comment in here tonight has helped me so much tonight. You're absolutely welcome, Michelle. Cosmic hugs. Oh, man. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not saying that, any person or persons around you all, but, there are just those times when the contract's up. And no matter what we do or how we do it, that there's no saving the situation, whatever that situation may be. And we just must live with those consequences. Now, how we deal with the consequences, how my sister dealt with the loss of her son, and how the siblings and how I dealt with it, how we dealt with the loss of, Anthony. Everybody to their own, to their own. But we all came to realize that, we were all so proud that he had turned his life around. And that of all the things I heard from everybody all the way, we're so proud that Anthony turned his life around. And without saying so much, meaning he will probably go to, he's heaven bound versus where he was really looking like he was headed. So, we have the opportunity to change things, and maybe it was just his turn. So we may know somebody in our close circle or somebody that has passed away or something. I know I do. And people who are sick. My sister had her breast removed and she's on, chemotherapy. And, my granddaughter's in prison up in Connecticut. And hey, we all have problems. And I'm not trying to, like, oh, woe is me, ain't that? But there are so many people and so many levels dealing with so much stuff. We just have to keep praying and have faith. We'll make it through. And if we don't, then that may also be our lot. You know what I mean? Tree of life. Hi, how are you? Um, Chloe, happy to see that Michelle, love conquers all. That's why it's so important that we love, be loved, and give love and rise our brothers and sisters who may be hurting or are down. Have a happy heart. You know, there are the strange times, and I've talked about it before, when, it's like, you really want to do a video now? Well, you've been mixing concrete, the lights just came on, it's 2 in the morning. But somebody might need some uplifting. So I listened to my spirit guide, and he was like, go ahead, Hawkeye. Really? Yeah. You sure? Uh-huh. What am I going to talk about? You'll think of something. But what about talk about the blackout? What about that? And here I am. But so it's not about me, but it's about Chloe. I'm sorry, it's about Michelle tonight. And thank you, Chloe. But so it's not about me. It's about what Chloe said to Michelle. There, let me have a drink here. So tonight's meeting of the members of the League of the Like-Minded Being, I'm here to have discussed Hermit and being, Herman's Hermits. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Anybody remember that one? Um, but so tonight, the League of Like-Minded Beings is here for Michelle because I've had a decent day. I'm tired. Got concrete set. It's drying and curing, and I can do some more tomorrow if the weather's okay. And I am so inclined. And if I can't go to town, then I'll do some concrete. I bought some extra, and I got stuff to do. So maybe it's a good thing, I can't go off gallivanting around the county for a day or two. Work at home. But also, hey, Millie Cow, I thought you was sneaking around back there in the background. Um, Lurking. And did I miss somebody? Truth in me. Oh, Tree of Life. Yeah. There. Okay, I got you. But in this though, so whatever it was that we're here tonight is help Michelle, and I consider that, and she is considering it a blessing as well. But I'm the vehicle of the spirits, and the spirit says, Hawkeye, get on here. Let's have a little chat. Don't know really why. Somebody needs you. There's somebody out there. Somebody needs to. Okay, what's it cost me? Nothing. I had a little dinner, had a picnic here, and let's have a chat. And so, if it helps anyone out at any time, and tonight it's for Michelle, and tomorrow it may be for somebody else, and tomorrow it may be for no one that we know, but our prayers will still go out to someone who's sick or feeling, or you know. So because we are, you know, God, I love y'all. We are, members of the League of Like-Minded Beings. We have this power. We have this connection, and we can share our love and our cosmic hugs, and it can be felt. So, and shared. and picked up and I hate to use the word manipulated, but yes, manipulated in such a way that let's send it towards this person. Let's send our love because this person needs a little extra right now. Or let's send it over here. You know what I mean? So with that, and it pooey, easy for you to say, it is our intent that directs our thoughts and our wishes and our love and our prayers. But because we are members of the League of Like Minded Beings, we already know what our intentions are. Otherwise, we wouldn't be members. You know what I mean? It's sort of like how you get in the club. So, Truth in Me, Cosmic Group Hug, thank you. Michelle, you ain't got to send it back. We already know. You know, when you receive, here's something I learned um, a ways back, several years now, 10, 15, going back. When you send out your love and you really honestly mean it, and you send it without any wish for anything to come back. None of this, well, I'm going to pay it forward crap. Well, it's good, but you don't say it, well, I'm going to pay it forward. Just do it. When you do it without any thought of self at all, just a selfless, I love you, here's a cosmic hug. When the other person gets it, it kind of bounces back and they go, oh my God, I just got a cosmic hug from Hawkeye. Holy crap. The knowing that they got it for me is like, that's it. I don't need another prayer. I got it because you got it or they got it. You know what I'm saying? It's their receiving of it. It's like giving somebody a gift that they really wanted a little kid. They're like, they pee their pants and whether it was $5, $10 or $100. It's not about how the cost of it. It's about what the delight or what it does to the child or the person or. So, but when we do these things without any kind of, wishing I'm going to get something back and just do it out of pure love and just send it with intent, I can tell when folks pick up stuff and, I just go, it's like a little giggle. It's almost like somebody tickled me a little bit like, ooh, I think somebody got that one. Okay. Cheers. I'll send out another cosmic hug. And it doesn't matter why you need it or for whatever. I don't have to know but that somebody needs a little extra energy today. Send it out. And because I've asked, I spoke about this before a few days back. I was like, man, I just went outside and looked up at the sky and said, I need help today, y'all. I got a couple of things I want to get done. I want to finish up, but I am so whacked out. I need help. Just give me the strength. That's all. I'll figure it out. And I did. We went to ride into town. We did a thing at that. And otherwise, I was consigned to here in the house in front of the fan and broke out of it. But I had to ask for help from the universe. Come on, I could just use a little bit of strength today. And when they gave it to me, it's what I did with it. Ween, I love you all. So listen, that on your darkest days, when you're most tired and sore, ask for a little help. But the thing is if it comes, you got to do something with it. Now, it doesn't mean you got to run a marathon. Doesn't mean you got to go out and dig trenches like I did out there the other day trying to put it in his footer. I love you too, Michelle. Thank you. But it's our free intent, you know. And I thank you all for being out there and for sharing what you have and what you do. Um, I'm so glad, Michelle, that you're smiling from ear to ear. You too, Millie Cow. All y'all, you know, you think, and you say, "Well, thank you, David," but and I feel humbled in that I thank you because you hang out with me. I'm just this crazy old man down here in the woods, I'm a crazy hermit dude, and you, and I don't know you folk, but to the point of whatever you do, though, you come here and hang out with me. I'm the one that should feel special that you guys, you know what I mean? Not that you should. Anyway, I thank you. I do. And with the first time when I had my first, well, here at the house, Mother Mary message that said, "You're going to do this." And I was like, "Nah, I don't want to." And they were like, "But there are people who just need to hear a kind word, Dave." And I was like, "But Ma, I don't want to do this." Or, "Yeah." But, in my soul contract, but don't you want to help people? Well, yeah. Well, then can you drive around anymore and do? No. But you still want to help people, right? Yeah. Well, then how you going to do it? I don't know. Well, do you two? But nobody will love me. Everybody hates me. I'm going to eat some worms. Um, but no, you're going to do this because if somebody needs to hear the message, they will hear it. And if it's only one person, now this is what was told to me. That's why I started this. And if it's one person listens or hears, and look at the friends I've made. I mean, Brian and Milky Way Messenger, he's been a long time subscriber. And he was like, "Dave, you made sense when other people didn't." And I'm like, "Thank you." And I'm glad because, there's sometimes that each of us needs a little boost or a little encouragement, or sometimes some of us need to, you know, um, somebody has to be the grown up in the room and go, "You shouldn't do that." And I can't remember who it was that called into Milky Way Messenger about the sigil thing. And he was like, "David Noel's right about, the sigil thing." And I was like, he dropped my name. He actually gave me kudos for something I was warning people about. And then he was like, "Yeah, that really happened." And, and the warning and the thingy. And I was like, "Thank you, Jesus." One person listened and got it and went, he was right. Don't mess with that. Wow. You know how powerful that is to save somebody's spirit from possibly getting entangled with some really nasty cosmic entities? For me, that's like, whew, we just saved somebody's life today. Or possibly several, or who knows what could have happened with that one, simply by saying, maybe you should not do that. Pay attention, beware. That's just me trying to tell folks, listen, be spiritually and be open, but you gotta follow certain rules, otherwise you're going to get creamed. Whether you think you're, well, look at me, namaste. Yeah, you're going to get your ass wiped, across the face of the earth by the great cosmic dinosaur that goes, "Ha ha ha ha, ha, I can, therefore I will." But anyway, um, yeah, we can all get our rear ends kicked by the cosmic gods, that like to come through and kick us around once in a while and see what we're made out of. But the bottom line in all of this, um, Amanda says, "I found you back then in a time of need. You gave me the strength to keep my peace and strengthening my love. I truly needed some help." Amanda, you're so welcome. But see, you guys give me the strength too, It's like, well, something I said, well, it is part of my life and it is part of my wonderment. And why shouldn't we help each other out? And as a shaman in training myself, I have to share this. Otherwise, I can't move on. You know what I mean? Not that I'm not sharing this only to move on. No, because I want as many people and friends and relatives and relations to go with me. I want a whole party of us to go. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody left behind. So let's share this knowledge. Let's all go. So there are some folks, well, I just care about myself. Well, namaste. I know there's somebody that I've just made me want to just throw up every time they did that. And I'm being cruel. I really am. Shame on me. I'm sorry. To the universe, I'm sorry for that. But anyway, you all are very welcome and thank you for hanging out with me and with each other. So I'm going to go walk around and get a little bit of dessert. I think the ice cream might have froze back up enough for me to have a little bit for, for my dessert for the evening. Thank you, Amanda, Chloe, Michelle. Truth to me, if you're still out there, Millie Cow, I bet you're still hiding in the background. Tree of Life, Truth to me, I think I got you there. Millie Cow, and anybody else that's lurking in the background. Okay. Oh, Chloe says, Hawkeye, without you, none of this shared love is possible. Thank you. But see, without your participation, then we couldn't share this either. So it's each of us are participating in this, and I'm just the moderator. But thank you so much. You're proving my point, and I feel humbled by it. I really do. There are times when I get done doing a live stream, I'll 5 minutes when I'm after I'm done, I just cry. The tears run down, and I think about all you folks and what you mean in my life, and how our quantum entanglement, and how we share and lift each other's spirits. And oh my God, what if I didn't have the courage, or of course I've gotten my spiritual rear end kicked, but what if I hadn't have done this? What would have happened to you folk or other folks who've watched the video and got something out of it? What would have, I have listened to other people. I've been kind of disappointed in some of them later on that they didn't move forward in their spirituality, but there was something they said in my time of need that helped me to remember who I was. So, I give kudos to these people too. I didn't do this on my own. I've had conversation with medicine men and shamans and spiritual people and just other folk. And so, God love you all. I do. Thank you. So let me get down here to the end. Our frequencies beat the same. We recognize and attract to our own frequency. We're in harmony. So true. We are here to assist one another. We are here to love each other unconditionally. Yeah, you know, there are times when and of course, I speak about myself because it's not fair for me to speak about somebody else. But there have been times when when I talked about the "oh woe is me" syndrome. Well, how you doing, Dave? Well, my back hurts today, and I'm blah blah blah. Oh, woe is me. Mm, and there are times when um, other people need us to call them though, without us telling. In other words, I should call somebody else and say, "Hi, how are you today?" Well, I don't know. This is them now. Well, I'm feeling a little down today. Well, I just something said call you. Hope you're doing okay. Well, how are you doing, Dave? Oh, I'm getting by. Don't care if my leg's in a cast. Don't care if I'm in traction like this. I'm fine because I'm calling regardless of how I feel to check on someone else. And when you do that, and you get this feeling back. Well, I'm really glad you called. I was feeling kind of down today, and blah 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 blah. And and you called out of nowhere, and you lifted my spirits. And thanks. Have a great day. And I might be like this. I hope you're doing okay today. Oh, doesn't matter. It's what we can provide for somebody else without bringing it upon ourselves. And so I realized there for a long time, I was in my own woe is me syndrome. So I would go, how are you today? Really wanting to know how they were. But somehow the conversation got back. Well, then they would ask me because they want to know, well, how are you today? Well, my back's been bothering me. And the next thing you know, it's about me. I didn't call them to complain about me. I called to check on them. But somehow it kind of the syndrome and the thingy, and they're being polite and you're being polite. So I have people to say, well, how you doing? I say, you want me to tell you the truth or you want me to lie? And they're like, well, what do you mean? And I go, I'm doing fine. And they go, well, are you telling me the truth or are you lying? Well, you figured that one out. Well, are you okay? I'm okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you lying to me, Dave, or not? Uh, but I don't make it about me anymore, whether I'm hurt. Now, there are sometimes, man, I'm really the friend. Look, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. My back hurts. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to bitch for 3 minutes, but then I'm going to shut up about it. You asked me how I am. Here it is. That's it. Now let's move on with the conversation. How you doing? You know. So, but there are folks that I have just absolutely lied to. How you doing? I'm fine. Wasn't no more fine than the man in the moon because I called to check up on them. But in doing so, I felt better afterwards. Go figure. It's that bounce back. And I didn't call with the intent or I'm paying it forward. No, I sincerely in the universe felt like I should give this person a call. And then it helped. Like tonight, do a video. Why? I don't know. But it's late and you're tired. Yeah, do it anyway. All right, here we are. Michelle, thank you. You showed up. And if you were the person that needed this little bit of uplift, see, then this was all worth it. But I listened to the universe. And if I was to ask, and I used to ask, well, why do you want me to do this? And they're like, finally, they just fold their arms and look down at me. Would you just shut up and just do it? But what am I going to tell you? Here's your subject, and now go. We'll give you tips, okay? But I didn't plan on. But go live and do this video. Somebody needs to have some. But what am I getting? Just go ahead. Somebody out there needs you tonight. Okay. And I don't ask who or why or what or whatever the reason is. I just come on and I try to present things. Let's have a good time, make a joke or two, but at the same time, let's be serious about some of these things, the things that really do need to be serious. So, my friends, God, I keep yapping my mouth off. I guess it's this extra um, um, mountain explosion from Dollar General. Terry B, me too, making the most of isolation and lockdown in the UK. Oh, hey, Terry B, how are you? Miss you due to time difference, but I'm always catching up, so thank you for your information. You're absolutely welcome, Terry B, and blessings to you folks over there in the UK. There are some folks that were from the UK that I've known around here in South Georgia. Absolutely lovely people. Truth of me, reading books, inheriting information, taking up a hobby. We always had an interest in those, or some awesome things you could do. Yeah. Michelle says, you crack me up, Hawkeye. I've got a couple of cracks in me, by the way, but Chloe, create, grow, learn, express, and create. Yeah, everything that we do is creation. I mean, when you take a deep breath and exhale, we're creating more life within us. We're creating oxygen to go through our system. I mean, every breath we take is a creation if you kind of break it down into the little things. Um, but with all the things that are going on, I went through and I've talked about this before, but I went through a period of a couple of years like nobody loves me, everybody hates me. My son won't call, my my grandkids won't answer and I was isolated. I felt like nobody cared. And then I had the manifestation of Mother Mary here, and she was like, you're not alone in this universe, and you must reach out. And that's what changed my life to this point, and you all have helped this. So thank you for helping me. I would still do this if nobody showed up for these videos. I would still do them because my intuition and my creator and my spirit and my Mother Mary message and the angel messages that I get are because somebody out there needs to hear it. Now, if I don't speak it, then they can't hear it. So I must put it into the universe. It's my job to speak it into the universe, whether anybody consciously hears it or not. But it's the information out there. It's like the video I did yesterday about the dimensional thing. And I'm just curious, if you saw it, did it make sense to you? Because of all these things that people are talking about, the fifth and third, fourth, and fifth dimensions. And so many shamans in so many ways equate all these natural things. And I think to myself, in the hermitage of things, in being a hermit, in being locked down and being, forced to stay home, you're forced to look at yourself more because you can't look at other stuff. If you're working, you don't have to pay attention to you. You're doing the work for the man. But when you have time to work for yourself or to look at yourself, and I don't necessarily mean in the mirror, but spiritually or whatever, it scares people. They don't want to look. They don't want to see who they are. And then there are those folks who just can't sit the frick down for any reason. Well, this needs cleaned, and this is, those kind of people, I want to go, here, come over here. You see this? This is a big joint. Now hold still. I'm going to light it. And I'm going to shotgun you till your head is so full of smoke. And then I want you to sit down. Okay. I mean, to some of these people, because, you just need to take a really great, big, giant, horny hit and sit the dang down and just like, okay, now, can we talk here? Like Joan Rivers. Now, whoever said Joan Rivers before, yeah, can we talk here? Yeah, coffee talk. Yeah. But anyway, so you folks are my coffee talk, and let's pass around a few laughs. But at the same time, some of the stuff is damn serious, and other people are like, well, it don't really matter. Maybe it does, and you're not paying attention. Maybe some of these answers that people are looking for are right in front of them, but they gotta sit still long enough to see them. Where they keep looking. Shut up long enough, and maybe, but I was one of those people. I kept bitching about my condition, and I couldn't hear what the solution was. But I got this problem. Yeah, well then shut up and let us tell you how to have one possible solution. But shut up, Hawkeye. You can't hear us if you're yapping. Good point. Whoops. Good point. How can you hear the answer if you're too busy yapping? How can you learn a lesson or learn about the future or learn about yourself or spirituality if you're always looking without stopping to see if maybe you've already got it? You caught up to it. Or maybe it's like, whoop, holy crap, there it is. Whoa, holy crap, there it is. Sort of like the story about Siddhartha and his friend, And, his friend kept looking, and Siddhartha found peace through a simple ferryman, a person who, toted people back and forth across the river, a simple ferryman. And Siddhartha was looking for all of these gurus who traveled the countryside, and he found spiritual fulfillment and enlightenment with a simple ferryman who sat on the river and helped people go back and forth across the river. And it's like, so sometimes the answer is where we may least expect it, and expect it. Sometimes we over expect what it is. So, well, I don't know this work. I got to stay home, and the virus and the thing, and we don't know what to expect. So most of us will expect the worst. The first things out of my mouth tonight were, oh my God, what a coincidence. Is this Armageddon? Now, I was half-assed joking, but there was a tiny part of me going, I hope not. I really hope not, but the lights will come back. On eventually, another hour goes by. Yeah. But neither one of us panicked. Whoop, I didn't hear anybody in the neighborhood panic. Whoop, well, that's good, right? So, in this spiritual warfare and all that's going on, we can't panic. And we got to stick with each other. And thank you, each and every one of you, for sharing what you have. Gummy worms. Yes, how about them? I'm going to eat some worms. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard it years ago. Nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. I'm going to eat some worms. And I think there's more to that. But anyway, yeah. So, and I've eaten a worm or two. Not too bad, but they're better in a skillet with a little butter and some garlic. Thank you for doing what you do. You're playing the role your spirit calls for you to play. You're absolutely right, Chloe. I'm doing the best I can under the circumstances. And I'm always asking for guidance tonight outside with looking at the stars. I'm like, you know, I'm always thank you for all that I receive. Thank you for all of my friends. Thank you for, allowing me to be a spokesperson in any way. And thank you for helping to keep me humble because there are times when I just like, well, not only that, but not just humble, but you give me the courage because there are times when I don't want to do this. Nobody's going to listen to this topic, and here I am rambling on again, yada, 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 and then I get on here and then you guys are so loving and caring. And I go, well, I guess that's the reason then, eh? You know? For Michelle tonight, and for anybody else that's out there, we share in this, we do. So thank you all. I am getting tired. It's almost 3 in the morning here, and I got to lay my old tired body down. I'm more concrete maybe tomorrow, so or later on today. So Michelle, I'm glad you feel better. Chloe, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Truth in me as always. Cosmic hugs. I mean it. Who else did I miss? Terry, if you're still there in the UK, thank you for hanging out. I'm going to try to like stay up a little later and do some of these live because I know there's some folks down under. I think it's Marie and a couple other folks. I think there was somebody that comes in from Germany once in a while. And I really, I want to make myself available, even if it's in the middle of the night for me here. I don't really care. So, but right now I'm tired, and it's time to go ween for, and let Bob have a and thank you, Michelle. I'm glad you do. Um, feel better already. So I do continue to pray that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, and all of your relatives will accept and receive the knowledge and the healing, the wisdom, the prayers, and the all that good stuff from the universe. Amanda, as well as you, thank you, Amanda, for showing up and being there as well. Chloe, um, I continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you, your friends, your family, all of your relatives, and all of your relations, past, present, and to come, will learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. And that power of three, I continue to pray that each and every one of you will continue to accept and receive and continue to share blessings, my friends, that you will continue to share with all your friends, your family, and all that you meet. Thank you for what you do. You make this possible, not me. I just show up and yak for an hour and a half, but you people show up. I love you all. Thank you, Michelle. So, ween everybody out there. And cheers to Bob and to all those folks out there, to Dante, the 72 and the 72 plus. We love you. We're always working for the angels. Remember that if we're doing good in this world, we're helping the angels and the Charistas and those folks. So everything that we do positively is for the good. Keep up the good work, my friends. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and above always, keep it between the ditches. TTFN. tot top for now, and one last wee till later. Cosmic hugs, everybody. Bye.